Hi Butterfly, it's Eva Lane here from anxiousrelief.com, and today I want to talk to you about what you can do to help someone else who's going through a panic attack. Now, panic attacks are very common, particularly amongst women or people generally who have anxiety disorder. They often come along without any warning. Some people know what their triggers are, many people don't, and that's part of what makes them so fearful, is that they seem to come on without any warning whatsoever, and we call them an attack because it truly feels like an attack on your body. Your body sort of feels like it's shutting down. Symptoms of panic attack: people talk about dizziness, feeling like they can't breathe, heart racing out of their chest, worry that they're going to pass out or faint, a feeling that they want to run away and hide. Some people feel like they want to lash out and start fighting, and it's a very overwhelming, overpowering, brain overriding sense of fear that people experience when they're going through a panic attack. Now, if you consume my blogs, it's quite likely that you experience anxiety and panic attacks yourself. It's also a well-known fact that birds of a feather flock together. So if you have anxiety, then it's likely that other friends of yours possibly have anxiety as well, and you lean on each other for comfort and support. Now, just because you go through panic attacks doesn't necessarily mean that when your friend is going through a panic attack, you're going to know what to do for them. And I get that a lot with clients. I get clients that will come and see me and they'll say, I get panic attacks myself and they're horrible, but my daughter gets panic attacks and I just don't know what I can do to calm her down when she's having a panic attack. I had a client last week whose best friend lives overseas at the moment, and she got a text from her friend in the middle of the night saying, oh my God, I'm having a panic attack. I don't know what to do. I can't breathe. I'm worried that I'm going to die. And my client felt so helpless and hopeless and alone. She really had no idea what to do for her friend in that moment. So what I said to that client is what I'm just going to cover off in this video with you today. And before I go into it, I just want to say, it's not your role to stop a panic attack for someone. People who have panic attacks get them because their energy gets hijacked by their nervous system, and they have an overblown reaction to some kind of stimulus, whether it's conscious, where they know their trigger, or subconscious, where they don't know their trigger, and their body is stuck in this reaction cycle. The way to truly heal panic attacks in your life is to get into the reason for that energy pattern that keeps on arising. But when you're in a situation where someone is having the panic attack, that's not the time to be getting into trying and undo the energetic patterning. When someone's having a panic attack, they're in crisis mode, and you really just need to do what you need to do to support them and get them through that panic attack. The other thing that I will say about panic attacks is, even though they feel like they'll kill you, they won't. They can't. Even if you do pass out, the minute you lose consciousness, you start breathing normally again. That's what your body does. And your body's no different to anyone else's body. Everyone's body does that. The minute you pass out, you will start returning, your breathing will start returning to normal and your body will reset. So that's many people's biggest worry, that they'll pass out or that they'll die. It can't happen. It really can't happen. Panic attacks are scary and they're terrifying, but they actually can't kill you. They really can't hurt you. They're something that you get through. They're not pleasant at all, but you do get through them each and every time. And the more you get through them and the more you realize that they're not going to kill you, they're just a very, very scary thing that you're going through, but it's a temporary state that you're in, the easier it becomes to manage them and deal with them and move on in your life, so that panic attacks no longer control you at all. I'm speaking from first-hand knowledge here, because panic attacks used to wreck my life, which is the reason why I choose to help women with anxiety, because I feel like I'm through that now, and it's my purpose and my mission to help support other women getting through anxiety and panic. Anyway, getting back to what you can do to help someone else who's going through anxiety or panic. And this works equally in person, if you've got someone who's having a panic attack in front of you, or you think that they might be, on the phone, if you've got a friend that's called you in a panic, or by text. So the first thing that will happen is someone will start behaving in a way that you think maybe they're having a panic attack, and you know that they're scared and they look frozen and they look fearful, and they might be having trouble breathing, they might be coughing, they might be feeling dizzy, and they might either tell you, I'm having a panic attack, in which case that's great because they know what's happening to them. But if they don't, if you say to them, what's happening, what's going on with you, and they say, I don't know, it's really important that you say to them, do you think you might be having a panic attack? Or do you think you might be having an anxiety attack? Because if a person is prone to anxiety attacks or panic attacks, that they know and that they can recall, okay, yes, last time I had a panic attack, it felt quite similar, so they might nod to you, or they might say yes, or they might say no, or I don't know, in which case it's really important that you seek medical assistance, you call an ambulance. There's people that might say, don't call an ambulance, it's embarrassing. I just think it's much better to be safer than sorry. If someone can't confirm to you that they're having an anxiety attack or having a panic attack, and they're presenting with these symptoms, it's better off just being on the safe side and seeking medical assistance. But let's just say they know that this is a panic attack. You know that this is a panic attack. So we're aware. You've brought the issue out into the light. Are you having a panic attack? Yes. So the next step, once the panic attack has been established, you need to ask them, do you want me to stay with you while this passes? And they might say yes, or they might say no. And don't be offended if they say no. Again, panic attacks can be deeply embarrassing. I've been mortified myself when I've had panic attacks in public in the past, and just really feeling like I'm disrupting people's day when they offer to stay with me. People can be very private and they just want to get through it on their own. But oftentimes, if someone's reaching out to you on the phone or reaching out to you via text, they're asking you for help. So just say to them, do you want me to stay with you? And they'll say yes, or they'll say no. If you can, it would be really helpful for you to go to them physically so that you can be with them physically. But if they live on the other side of town or in another country, which was the case of my client last week, obviously you can't do that. But you just let them know, I'm right here, I'm getting your texts as they come, I won't leave you, I'll stay with you until this passes. So the third step is when someone's panicking, they need something to cling to. They need something solid to cling to. Because when someone's panicking, they've got no sense of up or down or what is solid for them. They're feeling really, really ungrounded and out of control in that moment. So you as their support person need to be their rock. And the way that you be their rock is you remain calm yourself. You don't try to hurry them through the anxiety attack. You don't try to stop the anxiety attack. You just listen to them as they're going through it. You say to them, again, in a very reassuring way, this is an anxiety attack. It will be over soon. Just go through it. Ride the waves as they come. I'm staying with you. I'm not going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen with you. No, nothing's going to happen to you. I'm staying with you. I won't leave you. We're going through this together. And you remain the strong person. You remain the rock. You remain the one that's calm and clear and really mindful of the fact that this is a temporary thing that someone is going through. And then over time, you know, it might take 2 minutes, it might take 5 minutes, it might take 10 minutes. It feels to the person who's panicking like it's going on forever, trust me. After a while, the panic will start to subside and the person will start to show that they're beginning to regain a sense of composure. They might start to feel embarrassed. They might start to laugh at themselves. These are all very positive signs. These are all signs that the panic and that the fear, the overblown fear reaction is beginning to settle in the person. So when this starts to happen, you just say to them, you know, how are you feeling? You know, just continue to ride this out. How are you going? And then you just follow their cues. And afterwards, you know, let them know it's okay. I'm here for you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you. I'm here for you no matter what. I'll stay with you. That panic attack's not coming back. That panic attack can never come back. You've had that one. Yes, it was a bad one. I agree it was a bad one. But, you know, you survived it just like you've survived all your past panic attacks. You know, that you've done it. You've done really well. I'm proud of you. I'm here for you. Those sorts of affirming statements are really, really important, and you can make those statements over the phone. You can do it through text as well. So the feedback from the person who's panicking as they're coming through it and as they're coming out of it is really important, and you need to just sort of just very calmly respond to what they're sort of putting out there. A couple of things that people have said to me is that when someone panics in front of them, it can trigger their panic as well. That's why it's really, really important to remain the calm one in the situation, because the person who's panicking needs you to remain calm and remain mindful. And as the panic, you know, comes to climax and then begins to taper off, your calm energy will begin to override the situation, and you'll find that the other person is beginning to take their cues from you as they come out of the panic and become more calm again, and, you know, return to their usual state. The other thing is, when panic attacks rule a person's life, it can be very, very frustrating, not only for the person who's panicking, but for the person who is supporting them all the time. I can definitely identify and sympathize with this frustration. And it's very, very common for a person who loves someone who goes through panic attacks to get frustrated with them and to just wish that they were back to normal again and just wish they'd stop panicking and just wish they'd pull it together, you know. And that's not the way to help a person through panic attacks. It's really not. Your needs as the support person are equally as important as the person who's panicking. But believe me when I say you don't help a person who has panic attacks by trying to push them to get better again. What they need is your listening ear, your presence, and your support to just be with them calmly as each panic attack comes and as each panic attack goes, and to just be that stable, supportive influence that a person needs. And over time, it really does help to lessen those panic attacks. Your support really, really helps. And you might not know what you're doing 100% of the time. That does not matter. Your presence is what matters most. So whether it's in person, whether it's by phone, or whether it's by text, if someone's reaching out for you when they're having a panic attack, just be there for them. Over on my website, anxiousrelief.com, I have a free guided meditation for people that are going through a panic attack. And the point of this guided meditation is for someone who's panicking to listen to it in the moment. And it guides the panicking person through the panic attack and leads them out of it. So if you're a supportive person who knows someone who's going through panic attacks and you want to help someone with them, maybe download this and share it with them. Or if you're a person who experiences panic attacks yourself, I'll put the link at the bottom of this video and you can go to my website and download it for free. I'm Eva Lane. Please go over to anxiousrelief.com and see what I've got over there for you. Love and light.